Hello, planet Earth. Welcome to my YouTube channel. We're at IDK, my BFF Jill 730.
My BFF Jill 730.
I'm Preston L. Young, wishing you warm salutations and congratulations, as always. You've made your way to the Buffington Post.
You are invited!
Alright, kids, it's time for viewer feedback, so you know what that means. Reach into your super gay Buffy bag and pull out your Fred glasses and your preferred copy of Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 10, issue number 29. It's Own It, Part 4, Vengeance. Because today it's time to talk about what you had to say about Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 10, number 29. If you're new to the Buffington Post, this is just our informal corner of the month where I just talk to you guys about what you had to say about the issue and just get everybody excited for this week's season finale. What? Somebody who is not going to be featured in viewer feedback because they didn't give me any viewer feedback, but definitely deserves a shout out this month is Mr. Andre Asante. Andre Asante Giles, as he is known on the interwebs. Yeah, I got home from a funeral. We buried my grandfather last weekend, and just having a rough week. And I get home and I've got this message on Facebook from Andre, and he's like, "Oh, I did this, I hope you don't mind," and he sends me this link, and Andre had created a Facebook page for the Buffington Post with no prompting whatsoever from anybody, and I was just so touched. So thank you, Andre. Now everybody can go to Facebook, and if you search the Buffington Post spelled with a Y, not an I, then yeah, you can find me, and you can post stuff on there, you can share links, you can do whatever you like, I guess. I don't really know how it works, that's why I didn't create one for myself, but I'm trying to figure it all out. So again, thank you so much to Andre. If everybody will please jump into the comment section and give him some love for just a really nice little gift. Thanks. But I'm gonna do something a little bit differently this month because I got a couple of responses to my kind of gushing in the last viewer feedback episode, so I'll go ahead and give you a clip of that. I know that I'm really hard on Buffy, but honestly, Buffy is my favorite character in the Buffyverse. She is the best one, and I expect so much of her, and I want so much for her. I love Buffy. I think of her as being this very real three-dimensional person, and maybe that's a little crazy on my part, I'm willing to admit that, but I love Buffy. She's my favorite character, and I feel like in many respects, whether you realize it or not, she's probably your favorite character too, because Buffy is just universal. We can put all of our weight of our own worlds and give it to Buffy, and she can carry it. She can carry the weight of all of the characters around her's worlds, and it really, I just love Buffy. She's inexpressible. She's unattainable. She is this thing that, again, we should all aspire to be, and I know a lot of times it seems like I'm just super hard on Buffy, but again, it's because I love her so much and I want good things for her. And yeah, a couple of you were really nice in defending my crazy, and so first we've got Amanda Knitting Mummy who says, "Just putting it out there, I too love Buffy, and she is totally real. Buffy is every girl who stands up and says, I am not a victim, I am a woman, and I am strong, and I won't take your shit lying down." And I do actually talk about her as if she was real, and some people definitely have that worried look in their eye when I do that, and I can relate to that worried look, but I'm glad I'm not the only one getting it, so thank you, Amanda. And I've also got Leo G. He says, "You've hit the nail on the head once again. I'm critical of Buffy because she is my favorite character and she does feel so real." He goes on to say, "Buffy really is my favorite superhero," and I appreciate that sentiment, and I'm sure some other viewers here can as well. So thanks, Leo and Amanda. Alright, so let's get into this viewer feedback already. Here we go.
The time has come!
Mail time.
Hey, you know what that means? Mail time! Here's the mail, it never fails. It makes me want to wag my tail. When it comes, I want to wail.
This program was made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
Alright, so I'm getting some mixed responses on this particular issue. We've got Jen Periwinkle Paisley, who is echoing my sentiment about, is Xander really dead? Is he not dead? Are they just gonna like bring him back from the dead? And she has this to say. Yeah, we've been burned on just about everybody coming back from the dead, so I am not feeling it either. There's that waiting for the punchline-ness about it, and I still think it should have been Willow since she's muzzled in every dang issue anyway. What I am feeling is your little Rashmahar where demons respawn ditty, which made me almost spit lemonade on my tablet. I also wonder if Angel and Faith are going to now be in Buffy's comic, ? I do not want to see a love triangle. Also, your doggy is adorable, and she does a little dog emoji. Yes, Sophie thinks you're adorable too, Jen. And as for Angel and Faith coming into Buffy's comic, I don't see that. If you haven't heard, and I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, God bless the bearers of bad news. Joss announced at Comic-Con that, Angel and Faith will not be returning for season 11, like Angel and Faith, the book. I don't know what's going to happen with Faith, but Joss basically said that Angel is going to be going into his own book without Faith somewhere around the beginning of the year, and I don't know what they're going to do with that. Like, ideally, I would like to have 4 books. I would like to have Buffy proper, Angel proper, maybe a Faith in Magic Town book. I just think it's ridiculous if we get rid of Magic Town, especially since we've got Nadira and Co over there, and they've done so much to kind of build those characters up over the past 2 seasons. And I would also like for a deep scan book. A deep scan book would be amazing. I think it could really help to tie the world together, and I just really would like for us to have those 4 books, but is that going to happen? Probably not. I don't know where Faith will end up. Again, I hope that she does get her own book, but at the same time, it wouldn't make very much sense to bring her into Buffy with the Magic Town and especially like Nadira element still out there. I don't know what to think of this. I don't like your whole Willow should be killed thing. You need to get off of that. Like that's not cool, Jen. But I'm right there with you on the bringing people back from the dead thing. Like, how much more of this can we really take? And I don't know. I'm just not sure that Xander's truly, like, undeniably and reliably dead. You know what I mean? I don't know. But thank you for your feedback. I just don't know. Alright, moving on to Mr. Ken Miller. He says that the issue had him confused emotionally. He was shocked at Xander's death at the hands of Anya 3.0. Thank you for using my Anyanka 3.0 jargon, I really appreciate that. He talks about how he's been wanting a death all season, and he definitely got what he wished for. He wanted a death that would really hit in the emotional gut. He says that Xander was never his favorite from the group, but, you know, how can the Scoobies go on without him? He's disappointed about Willow being so weakened when we have these vengeance demons who can just apparently do whatever they want. He was kind of hoping to see a showdown between Willow and Anyanka, but right now he's hoping that Xander's sudden death will bring about Dark Willow. He's not a fan of Andrew's magical energy disruptor guns, and I agree with you, they do look really cartoonish. They just look like toys, and I can understand why he would have them and maybe like Dawn, but for everybody in the Scooby crew to like come out with their toy guns, it looks a little silly. I'm right there with you. He says poor Buffy. I mean, she just got Giles back and Dawn, and now Xander is well presumed dead. He said it's nice to see her being the brains behind the operation of stopping De Hoffren from writing in the book. It's really the first time that we've seen her do that since she was getting everybody to go up against the mayor. And although I will say that she did have the whole idea to, you know, magic the Slayers into being, so that's a smart plan too. He enjoys the embellishment of Arash Mahar and getting to see the demon offices there, which I really liked as well. He says that De Hoffren and his whole confrontation with Buffy seemed a little out of character for him, but I don't know. I feel like we just have always kind of seen De Hoffren being so cool and collected all the time. And so for me, the D'Hoffryn frustration really works because it does allow us to like peel back this new layer of D'Hoffryn and see that he's kind of just as human as all of our Scoobies, that he does have these petty jealousies and these insecurities about himself. I personally really like it. He likes that Buffy gives this speech to D'Hoffryn, and he says that she's right. Like, she acknowledges her own faults and her own responsibility in not having the book be protected in the way that it ought to be. He says that her speeches were never his favorite, especially in season 7, but here, by accepting her faults, she really, like, it felt earned. And he also is questioning Buffy's scythe, and I do think you're right that it's just part of the powers that he stole from the other council members. But again, like you're talking about with Buffy's plan, I'm wondering, does D'Hoffryn still have all of the power that he got from the different magical council members if they're all kind of like psychically nullifying D'Hoffryn's control over the book? Like, I know that it's already written in the book, but you would think that everybody's like combined willpower would start to nullify things in the book. I'm really not confused, or I'm really not sure about how that works either, and kind of confused about it. He says he's really confused with all the loose ends that we need to tie up with this book and the scythe and whatnot. And he feels like there was a missed opportunity in not bringing Wolfram and Hart back. But I mean, like I said in the issue, I think we can assume that Wolfram and Hart is back. They were following Xander and Dawn, so I think that's just fun. And he laments like the lack of crossover between Angel and Faith and the whole Magic Town magic and all that good stuff coming in this final arc. But Angel and Faith really wrapped up really nicely in the end. It wrapped up quickly again, but it did have a very like down home, like things that, like, our story's done, we're not going to San Francisco to help Buffy anytime soon, and so I'm not really missing it. Yeah, he doesn't want to see Xander's death and the big finale just be wrapped up with some hocus pocus magic, but we will just see. And yeah, I was like, oh, maybe you cried, and he was like, yeah, I actually did cry. So yeah, maybe it's me. Like I said, like I just don't feel the Xander death. And you know, Ken, as to your Dark Willow comment, I feel like Willow's been so neutered all season. If she's gonna do something, she's gonna have to go dark to do it. So there's that, But thank you, Ken. All right, so I don't know why I like this name so much, but I really do. It's Sosa Lola. Sosa Lola has a Xander in the library, and I think that's a picture from season 3. I'm not really... No, he doesn't look quite as handsome as he was in season 3. Season 3 Xander is pretty hot. But anyway, he says, I really hope Xander isn't dead, because I hate how every dead character gets to come back from the dead. But Xander is my favorite character, so I want him around. Like, that's what everybody's feeling right now. Like, what are you doing? Like, Xander, are you dead? Are you not dead? I'm sorry, Sosa Lola, that you're having to go through this. And next, I've got Natalia Escobedo Canefec, who says, hello. As usual, it was a great review. Well, thanks. I'd been having a crappy evening, and watching you really cheered me up, so thanks. You're welcome. Now I feel like I can go to sleep with an easy mind. Good points about D'Hoffryn. You made me realize that this is the first time a big bad is someone that has been present pretty much always, but until now was just an interesting and charismatic character. In a creepy way, you know what I mean. And not much more than that. Angel being Twilight in season 8 doesn't really count, since we have been told repeatedly that he wasn't really himself. And also, he already was a big bad in season 2, also not being himself. So, not the same. I also think that D'Hoffryn being so mean, after all, is pretty neat. I agree. I really like the turn for the D'Hoffryn character, because he always does seem so like, whatever. Like, very aloof, very nonchalant about everything. But now we're really getting to see that D'Hoffryn has these things that he cares about, like this power, this control, like, control! So, I agree. She goes on to say, I don't know what to think about Xander either. I know killing him like that was really anticlimactic, but it wouldn't be the first time they do that to us. But, on the other hand, I would feel cheated if he wasn't really dead. What you said about Anya 3.0, another Anya 3.0, could be playing everybody and Xander being safe elsewhere was the first thing to pop into my mind. So to me, it feels way too obvious, and it is not that I want Xander to be dead. I always loved Xander. I have the feeling that many Spike fans had a grudge against him, especially during the TV show, but I never did. I could see his points most of the time, and overall I always thought he was a neat guy and a vital part of the show. And, well, during Season 10, he has been the best version of himself, which, in hindsight, now that I think about it, would be in a way foreshadowing his death. Really should see it coming. So I really don't want him to be dead, and if he is, I don't think he will stay dead for long. I hope they won't use an easy plot device to bring him back just like they sent him away. I think it would be disrespectful to the character and to the fans. I mean, if they really are going to make us suffer, they better make it worthy. But, well, I suppose the fans don't get if the fans don't get upset once in a while, it doesn't feel like Buffy, right? Yeah, I agree with pretty much everything you're saying, Natalia. We'll find out on Wednesday, like, if they decide to cheat us out of a Xander death, or if it was just a shitty death, right? And then I've got Magically Delicious, who has the Hypnotoad as their icon on YouTube.
All glory to the Hypnotoad.
And Magically Delicious says, Season 10 has put marzipan in my pie plate, bingo. Thanks. Amanda Knitting Mummy comes along to say the following. Not one of my faves, but I didn't dislike it either. I also don't believe Xander is or will stay dead. I am, however, dead excited about the next issue, although it looks like it will be a pretty short and sweet wrap-up. Yeah, I'm worried about how quickly it's going to wrap up, but at the same... I don't know, Season 10's been really good. It hasn't been perfect, but, I don't know. I'm afraid it might be a little bit too short and sweet, but we will see, Amanda, we will see. Alright, moving on to CJ Art 9999, who, by the way, totally predicted Xander's death. He says, wonderful insight as per usual, I totally agree with you. It was difficult to form an emotion regarding this issue. I was so hoping to be wrong about Xander dying. I do agree with you when you say that it doesn't feel like he's really dead. There are a few ways around his death, as you've mentioned. Now that the Scoobies are grieving and likely in a vengeance-seeking mood, will vengeance demons be forced to grant their wishes to restore Xander? I mean, I would think so, right? Maybe Jonathan will be the one to grant the wish that Xander be resurrected, which would be meaningful to fans, especially given his past connections with the Scoobies. But then again, maybe Anya is bluffing. Who knows? One more issue to go. I agree. I feel like Jonathan's gonna do something. It's a waste of Jonathan to have him come in, get his body. Although it's not really Jonathan. I have a real issue with that. Like, it's not really Jonathan. It's not really Anyanka 3.0. It's so weird. Anyway, but yeah, it would just feel wasteful if they brought Jonathan back to life and then turned him into a vengeance demon for, what, nothing? I don't know. I mean, if he dies, it'll kind of be like, okay, see, Andrew, you can't just go, like, doing all these things all the time, but Andrew has already learned that lesson, so I don't know. Like, Wednesday's gonna be a big day, and I feel like it's gonna be a very divisive day as well. But thanks, 99.99. Alright, so then we've got RobG now. And Rob has this thing where he doesn't so much comment on my reviews most of the time, he just kind of copies and pastes his own reviews. So, yeah, he's got something from his review here, and then he says, as to Xander's real death, honestly, as a fan of Xander, I hate the idea that he'd be killed before sometime far in the future. But as a BTVS fan, I can see the value in upending the status quo, and this death is big enough to do that. It would have a lasting impact on all of our characters for years to come, and that is great drama, but only if it's real and only if it's permanent. And yes, that is what I think as well. Xander, he's too near and dear. He's too near and dear. Giles, near and dear. I get it. You know, Tara, near and dear. But not to the level that Xander is. Like I said, Xander gave us what would Buffy do. He loves Buffy, and he's always, like, there for everyone involved. His relationship with Dawn is very important for that character. If you're gonna kill Xander, fucking kill him. You know what I mean? And, yeah, this death just seemed to seemingly come out of nowhere, and if it's not permanent, if it's not real, I do feel that we have been cheated, but I don't know. I don't run it. I'm not writing it. I'm just sitting here talking to you lovely people about it. But, anyway, that's pretty much all I've got for today, you guys. I hope you're having a great 2016 so far, everybody. You can come right back here to the Buffington Post anytime for Buffy the Vampire Slayer reviews, Angel and Faith reviews, Buffyverse discussions on the other Slayers, and more. I'm about to wrap up Season 9 with The Core Part 5, which was going to be basically like almost the end of all of the Buffy comics coverage that they've got out right now, so I'm going to have to get busy and start thinking of new things to do for you guys. But yeah, we'll have Season 9 wrap-up videos coming after I do that, and before I do the Season 10 wrap-up videos after this week's finale. I will be catching up with the first 5 or 6 issues of both Buffy and Angel and Faith Season 10. So once I've got all of my content like complete for the season, then I will get into my Season 10 wrap-up videos, which will include a bunch of different stuff. Season 10 has given us a lot to kind of chew on and think about, and we will be doing that very soon. So have yourself a great day today, and we'll see you next time. Oh, and check out the Buffington Post on Facebook. What? Bye.
Mail time.
Hey, you know what that means? Mail time. Here's the mail, it never fails. It makes me want to wag my tail. When it comes, I want to wail.
This program was made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
Okay. My BFF. Joe? 730.